Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We are in episode 4 talking about cardio. And I want to get really specific this time, Adam, about how to schedule this because I wanted at one point to work on my running and my sprint speed. I had some goals for the 400 meter, that kind of thing. And I worked with a track coach. I paid somebody to create programming for me. And it was a great look into the different form of training and the way that coaching can be laid out in still some kind of a periodization and progression that was just different to me. But yet it was amazing how similar it was because when I said, okay, my goal, let's say that my ultimate goal is to increase my mile time. Well, we had to have longer overruns, so lower intensity, longer runs. We had some interval work. We had, that exact distance where once a week we would run that distance for time. And then we would have some what are called pulse runs. So more of like a 5K at a targeted pace. You want to push yourself because you want to make that 3-mile run, make the 1-mile run look easy. So you're definitely stretching that. So all of these concepts and principles came into play. And I think we need to do that with our clients here as well and say, okay, you've got leg day, you got squats, you got deadlifts, you got these other things that are higher priority for you. So how can we fit in some low intensity work, some moderate intensity work? Where are we going to put your high intensity training? Because we really have to schedule this well. So are those the things that you discuss with your clients as I do?
Yes. One big thing, though, that it's kind of like going back to a ladder. I will say, the best thing is to always get it done regardless. So that's going to have your biggest impact. But then you might get a better output by, not running after your leg day. I will say that you likely will. Now, if you chose a different type of cardio, that would be just fine. So discussing those modes and intensities are just really important. And a lot of my more advanced clients know this. I think sometimes people forget, though, when they get deeper into a prep that we discuss these things in the beginning, and they're just so overwhelmed with how am I going to get all this done. Sometimes it's really good to reel people back in and talk to them about why and how they should be doing this cardio to make it just slightly more effective. If you have, a 0.1% chance of being better, we want to take that.
Yeah, and you're exactly right that the mode of cardio and the intensity go hand in hand. And I will say that I'm a big fan of doing a pretty good cardio as a warm-up because I want to go into that workout with my heart rate up, body temperature up. All of that stuff is just so much better for training. I've gotten a lot of coaches to experiment with that with very good results. But let's say normally I might do 20 minutes and it could be a really progressively intense 10 minutes on the bike and then a really aggressive 10 minutes on the elliptical. Maybe if I'm going into squats, then maybe I'll knock off the elliptical and only do 10 minutes on the bike because I don't want to exert that much. Or as you said, if I just squatted super heavy a day or two ago, maybe that's not going to be the best time for me to jog and have that impact. Maybe that's when I want to spend my time on a step mill or an elliptical where it's just a little bit lower impact. But the speed, the intensity, the time, the distance, all of those things have to go into play. And like you said, I picked up on your concept of the ladder, meaning like one rung at a time. The most important step is that first step, just getting it in. Then you can fine tune and refine exactly how you're going to perfect that for your own goals.
Absolutely. I've always really liked biking pre-squatting. I'll actually set the seat a little bit lower. It helps me get just kind of a good knee to hip ratio for getting ready to get into that position when I squat. So I don't really bike often, but when I squat, I typically do. I find it warms up my knees really well.
And I will say you mentioned this a couple episodes ago, but in terms of using functional body weight things or just different types of cardio, using the rope swings and things like that may be primarily more for your upper body or ways to de-emphasize legs, that all that stuff is on the table. You can get your heart rate up in a lot of different ways. So
yeah,
you guys stay with us. We're going to talk about how to break down the actual different considerations you may have when we're talking about, perhaps working around injuries or age-related issues. So stay tuned, and we're going to wrap this up next time.